Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a couple weeks. I haven't been making much. My wife and I, we've been busy working on our eBay business and we've been making a few changes. So that's what today's video is about. All right, so let's get into the changes. All right, number one, I joined the Reseller Podcast $4.99 Patreon group. At first, I did that. It was $5 a month and I was just listening to the podcast by Chris and Tech. It was really good. I was really excited when I found out they were going to be making content again. So I joined the $5 tier for a couple weeks and it became like something I was looking forward to. You know, I'd work through the week, Friday or Saturday would come around, the new podcast would be out. I'd get ready to go out for one of my longer runs and listen to the podcast. I just was really liking what I was hearing. I've been a part of a few different mastermind groups and Facebook groups. Some of them have been really good, some of them have been good, and some of them have been not so good. It's so valuable to be part of a group that's doing the same thing, that have varying skill and knowledge. Anyways, I'm getting off track. So, number one, I joined the Patreon group and I was listening to the podcast. And then a couple weeks went by and they had like an open call and I joined my first call. Loved it. I feel like I got good information from the very first video. So I got off and instantly became a member and upgraded to the Facebook group. And that's $35 a month. At first, I didn't know if I wanted to spend that, but I'm so happy that I did. And I would recommend it to anybody. Anybody who sells on eBay or on any platform, I would recommend it. The first thing I noticed is that I still had like limiting beliefs. I had an idea of what other successful sellers were doing and what their days looked like, and thinking that that wasn't possible for our lifestyle or to fit in time-wise or money-wise. Also, I thought that to do that quantity of work, it would make my life miserable. So, and I didn't realize that I was thinking that. So after I joined the Facebook group and I started being exposed to all these people that were going really hard, you know, they were doing a lot of listings, they were very consistent. That kind of hustle is contagious. And I remember the first week finishing like my weekly quota and coming to the weekend, and I had just sourced and I was like, maybe I should do a 60 listing challenge, because I just picked up 60 items and I was like, if I do 20 a day, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, that'll be cool. I remember, this is a few weeks ago, I remember thinking like, that's kind of overwhelming. I don't know if I want to do 20 listings a day through the weekend. Long story short, I did it. By the end of the weekend, it felt smooth and I was impressed. That planted a seed in my head that I started thinking about. So later on in the week, when a much larger seller that I respect suggested possibly focusing on one platform, I had a bunch of emotions that I was feeling. I had a bunch of thoughts going through my head. What if it doesn't work? That seems like a cop-out. It seems like a cheat code or easy or whatever. You have to understand, after quarantine and everything opened back up, I got used to listing everything myself on eBay, Mercari, and Poshmark. And I made a video like last month of talking about the reasons you should do that and you shouldn't have all your eggs in one basket. I still believe the things that I said, and I believe that that would work well for certain people in certain situations. However, I thought that I couldn't list a lot more because I would be limited by the time or by cash flow or whatever. That was also kind of like a limiting belief. For one thing, I decided to put my other stores, Mercari and Poshmark, on like a vacation to do like a 2-week experiment to see what it would be like to be only listing on eBay. I'll cut right to the point now. Like, I don't think that I will be opening my Mercari or Poshmark store back up, at least not in the near future. Right now, I'm focusing 100% on eBay. It's kind of like the 80-20 rule, like 80% of our sales come through from eBay, and yet I found myself that I was only spending 1/3 of my time on it. And that just doesn't make sense to me. So when I realized that I had been training myself to do a lot more listings than I was used to doing, at 20 a day on 3 platforms, you're doing 60 listings. I don't know a lot of people that do 60 listings a day. So at this point, after doing it for a couple weeks, the only thing that's holding me up is sourcing more and making sure like the capital's there, and now I'm kind of focused on another thing. But I'm sourcing twice a day or twice a week, and I have an idea. I will start the week off with a weekly listing goal. You have to understand, before I joined the Facebook group, I was listing about 100 a week on a good week. But I was listing it on 3 platforms, and so I was aware of the amount of sales that were coming in from Posh and Mercari. And at that moment, it was nice because they were going into another account. I wasn't really thinking about it. But now I'm listing only on eBay, so I'm sourcing twice a week. My first week, I went from like 80 to 100 up to like 160. And then my second week, I just decided like I just got to keep bringing up that total, and then list them as quickly as possible so that the cash flow keeps coming in and I can keep sourcing to sustain this the momentum that I had created. And then this week's listings were 200 was my goal, and I'm like 13 away from that, and it's only like Friday afternoon. So I may do some more, or I may stop at the 200, and then next week will be 225. I guess just to kind of like summarize and wrap it all up, the podcast, if you haven't got a chance, and if you can check out the Resellers Podcast by Chris Lynn and Tegan Sports, very good. It's very worth listening to. You can usually catch like the first 10 minutes of it on YouTube, and then the rest on the Patreon, and then the mastermind group. If you can get involved or start networking with people, I wish I would have done this earlier. And I tried a few years ago, but I was at a place, and I was kind of at like going through some personal stuff, and I wasn't ready. Like, even 6 months ago, I was looking back on that experience thinking like, oh, it was just kind of like people were all over the place. It wasn't really what I was looking for. But no, that's not the truth. It was me. I wasn't like mature and confident enough in my own journey that I don't think I was ready for that. So it's changed everything. I honestly feel like the last month has changed the trajectory of not only our business, but our life. And I'm really grateful for the group and what I've learned and the momentum, because now it's like I get excited. I'm looking forward to it. Work doesn't feel like work because I'm more confident in what I'm building right now, and that's a very exciting feeling. So anyways, stay tuned, more videos coming. I think we're dropping a haul video tomorrow. Should be exciting. We're gonna try doing it a different way. Anyways, that's all for now. I'll talk to you guys soon.